Hello, beautiful people on the internet. My name is Emma, and today I'm doing a video on the 8 limbs of yoga. This is going to be the first video in a series of spiritual philosophy and theory that I'm doing on my spiritual wellness channel. So if you're interested in seeing more like this, don't forget, subscribe is down there. 8 limbs of yoga. I'm talking about them as written in the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. This is a very ancient philosophy and scripture. The version of commentary that I've read is by Edwin Bryant, and I also have learned from the commentary by Swami that was used in my yoga teacher training. So, these 8 limbs of yoga. The first 2 limbs of yoga are really about how the yogi identifies within oneself and how they treat oneself and others. And the next 6 limbs of yoga are really about the physical practice and the meditative practice of yoga. So, let's get into it. So, the first limb of yoga is yama, and there are 5 yamas of yoga. The yamas are how the yogi treats oneself and others. They are ashima, non-violence and loving kindness; satya, truthfulness and non-lying; astya, which is non-stealing; brahmacharya, which is continence, moderation and energy conservation; apajihara, which is non-greed and non-attachment. So those are the 5 yamas of yoga, the first limb. The second limb of yoga is the niyamas of yoga. And the niyamas are the way that the yogi identifies within oneself, really. There are 4 niyamas of yoga, and they are saucha, purity; santosha, contentment; sadhavaya, the study of spiritual books and continuous growth; Ishvara Pranayana is self-surrender, being in faith. So, those first 2 limbs of yoga are said to be what the yogi needs to be and practice daily in order to have a physical or meditative practice that will bring them to enlightenment. And that's the purpose of yoga. So, there's the importance there in the yamas and niyamas of yoga. So let's move on to the physical practice of yoga and the meditative practices of yoga, which are the 3rd and 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th limbs. So, with these next limbs of yoga, there's the goal of tapas, which means to burn, right? It means accepting pain and not causing pain, right? So when we come back to burn, right, with the 3rd limb, which is asana yoga, which is the movement quality, the movement limb of yoga, the flow, right? In that, we're applying tapas as we're burning the toxins and we're burning the fats out of our bodies, and we're allowing for that energetic flow to happen, right? And then in stage 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, we're using tapas to burn our old impressions, our ego, our judgments, our attachments. We're using the tapas to burn away all of those negative parts of us when we're in our meditative limbs, which begin with our 4th limb of yoga, which is pranayama, which is breath control. We have our 5th limb, which is pratyahara, which is our withdrawal of the senses. So to close our eyes and to no longer be distracted by the sounds or the feelings within us. Then we have our 6th limb, where we use our effort and we bind our mind with an object or an idea, right? This could be a prayer, this could be a flame or water, this could be a chant, right? Where we're using our effort, we're focusing, right? So now that we've used breath control and sensory control and mind control here, now we're ready to be in a state of effortless meditation, which is the 7th limb of yoga, which is dhyana, where our mind is fixed and our meditation is steady. There's no more effort going in, it's calm, it's peaceful, it's blissful. And then we get to our 8th limb of yoga, which is samadhi. It is the peak of meditative experience, really, where neither the object you are focusing on nor yourself as the meditator are present. There is oneness and there is peace, and that is all. So there's a quote that I want to read about these last meditative stages of yoga that I think is important to think about, is that these stages are different stages of concentrative intensity, and they culminate in the realization by awareness of its own nature. It's deep, but if you think about it while you're meditating, maybe you'll have a great experience, and you'll lose the thoughts, and you'll really reach an effortless state of peace. So, those were the 8 limbs of yoga. I hope you guys enjoyed and learned something. Please share this video as to create that community of spiritual, like-minded learners for us so we can grow together. Please remember to like this video and subscribe down below for more content like this. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Namaste.